about anything, personal, political, you name it, and then I've got a rousing hour-and-a-half conclusion. Go, sir.
We're at war and we're losing.
Yes.
Which means we need a strategy, in which any strategy has to have a goal and the means. Our opponents have a vision of America.
Yes.
Everyone has a gun. Everyone's reliant for everything they need to survive on the government. Okay, that's the vision. There's more to it, but they are marching toward a goal. We need to formulate specific things. We can't talk about the past, Joe. Where are we going to go? What is our objective here for the strategy?
Great question.
Great question.
Because the other side has a strategy. And let's... Oh, thank you. All set. Thank you. Well, I think the general strategy is this, and I could be wrong. No, I'm not wrong. If you believe like I do, there's, okay, this thing called the Tea Party movement, right? Okay. And I know there are people in this movement that are now saying, oh my God, we got to lose those words. You can't say Tea Party anymore. The media's already defamed it. It's dirty laundry. Get rid of it. You're going to run that easily? No. So this thing called the Tea Party movement, I've always said, I firmly believe it's the majority of the American people. I've told John Boehner this 4 times. It's bigger than the Republican Party. It's bigger than the Democrat Party. What's the Tea Party movement all about? It's about really 3 things. We're losing basic freedoms. We have a government that's way too big. And we have a debt. We have a debt that's going to bankrupt our kids and our grandkids. I believe that is the Tea Party movement. Now, you could disagree with me. I know pro-life Tea Partiers, and I know pro-choice Tea Partiers. I know pro-traditional marriage Tea Partiers. I know pro-gay marriage Tea Partiers. I know pro-gun Tea Partiers. I know a few anti-gun Tea Partiers.
I don't know any of those.
But when it comes...
Who are they?
When it comes to these basic principles, the size of government and all of this debt, we're all unified. Strategically, we have to focus on those issues. Not only, but focus on those issues. Grow a movement around those issues. Yes. Come on. I know we have to fight on everything else. I believe in traditional marriage. I know I'm not going to run away from it. I'm pro-life. I'm not going to run away from it. I wish everybody in this room right now were packing. I feel a lot safer. I'm not going to run away from it.
Amen.
But you know what I'm going to say if I ever run again? Hypothetically. Say I ran for governor next year. Just hypothetically. Woo!
I knew it.
That's got to get a much bigger reaction out of you. And Pat Quinn, say this is all hypothetical. So Pat Quinn's running against me, and he says, that crazy Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh, you're a pro-life extremist. Joe Walsh, you want everybody to be armed. Joe Walsh, you're against gay marriage. I'm going to say, Pat, or Governor, I'm pro-life without exception. Yes, I even wish you were packing right now, Governor Quinn. Yes, I believe in traditional marriage. But you know what, Governor Quinn? Our state is a house. And right now, this house that you've been running is burning down. We are broke, we aren't working, and people are running out of this state.
That's a fact.
Now, Governor Quinn, if you want to spend this whole debate talking about abortion, oh golly, I'll do it. But our country's house is burning down. Our state is burning down. And I think that if our candidates spoke that way, because very little is going to improve in Illinois in the next 2 years, how can it?
Right.
Very little is going to improve nationwide in this country in the next 2 years, because how can it? The other side is wrong. So we'll be having this same debate 2 years from now. Yeah, these other issues are important, but our country's house is burning down and we're bankrupting my kids and my grandkids. What are you going to do about that? That is what the Tea Party movement needs to stay focused on. And if you do that, all of these other Tea Party Americans who don't have posters of Sarah Palin in their bedrooms, they will come out. They will come out.
But
Questions?
I have to ask you
Except from you.
Poor Jackie.
What?
This silent majority,
This
Tea
silent
Party,
majority.
are they the ones who put this president back in office because they didn't come out to vote?
No,
Just
because
an
it was
opinion.
stolen.
I'm asking Joe.
Here she goes again.
You're not Joe, Susan. I'm asking the congressman.
I tend to think it was a presidential election. I tend to think that Mitt Romney would have been a pretty good president. I don't think he was a great
But
candidate.
the Tea Party didn't think so.
You gonna
So
let
they
me,
stood home.
You gonna let me answer the question?
Poor Jackie.
I don't think Mitt Romney was a great candidate. And you've got a lot of Americans who internalize a lot of what I just said. We're at war. I'm losing this thing this country was founded upon. I'm scared to death for my kids and my grandkids. And you had Mitt Romney out there not talking to this. Mitt Romney out there saying, I've been really successful and wealthy, and I'm sorry. Instead of saying, you know what? I've been really wealthy, I am wealthy, I've been really successful, I'm damn proud of it, and I want everybody in this room to be wealthy and successful
Amen.
too.
Amen.
So, I think, Jackie, too many Americans said what I think they've said for a number of elections. All right, I know that Democrats are running us down the road toward big government, but I kind of see the Republicans walking down the same road. Oh, there's something good on TV tonight. I won't vote. I think a lot of that went on. We have not presented an exciting alternative.
I agree, but that means that the silent majority, which you claim is the Tea Party, stayed home and put this man, and I use the term loosely, back in the White House.
Well, I'll be honest. I thought, to Mitt Romney's defense, just saying how bad Barack Obama was, I really thought that could carry the election. It didn't, because you still need to present an exciting, positive vision, and it didn't because the other side, very quietly for 4 years, has been signing people up. Hey, you want some free birth control? I'll do that.
Yeah, I do.
I got your vote. Hey,
Jackie.
Hey, hey, wait a minute. You want to sue in this country legally? Okay, here you go. I got her vote. Hey, who needs help with their student loans? Okay, I'll take care of it. I've got your votes. And away we... Hey, who needs free health care? The other side, guys, did that for 4 years. And so, I don't know, there are a lot of Americans that said, I'll take that. And we were asleep. Yes, ma'am. Stand up. Come over here so everybody can hear you.
I'm so glad I could just I'm not going to hide the fact. I worked for Congressman Walsh.
Oh my
He
God.
was a fabulous congressman. And I had to deal with constituents. And I had to deal with lovely, lovely people at their lowest points in life. But I have to say one thing. Until we beat the media,
That's a
that
fact.
liberal media, we will not get the right person in this office. That's just exactly how I feel. I could not believe people would call the office with these things and say, do you really believe that? We need to be educated. We need to take responsibility for the education. And I think that people that run for public office need to cross their heart, cross their fingers, pinky swear, sign it in blood that they're telling the truth. And we need to ask for journalistic integrity.
Yep.
Hey, my 10 seconds is the media's never been on our side. They're never going to be on our side. Let's just whoop them. Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
No, I agree. I want to say thank you for coming out and giving us a reality check because I think we need it. But there's only one thing I I'm going to disagree with you on, and that is the idea that we can write off the Democratic Party. I'm not saying we need to go out and vote Democrat, but we need to hold them accountable in the media, in their actions. What's happening is we're saying, oh, Democrats just are spending too much, and they're progressive, and they're communist, and we kind of let them get away with that. We need to call them out on that again and again, not just purge the Republican Party, but I think purge the Democratic Party. I'd rather have a brand new baby Democrat than a Republican that's been there 40 years even at this point. So I think that's the only thing I would disagree with you on.
Yeah. No, hey, look, we got to fight, and it's not just Democrats. This is not Republican versus Democrat. This is freedom versus total government control. Now, generally, the Republicans tend to be in the party of freedom. The other side is totally in government control. The media is totally in government control. You can try to convert some of them if you want, and there will be some you can convert. But I think, as Jackie said, there are still enough Americans who are sitting on their butts who believe in freedom. We got to get them, and we got to inspire them.
Well, we need to shame them when they are
Yes.
progressive.
Yes, sir.
Knowing that we're at war, why in the world did we feed into that home media thing and not get a non-WASP person for, running mate? Why don't we get Marco Rubio?
You got something against WASPs?
Well, look at them. We're all WASPs. I mean, come on. We need to, broaden it a little bit.
What do you want, a hornet?
Look, Romney won the nomination fair and square.
For his run mate.
Other people could have run. I just think the problem is we don't have enough Republicans yet who are not afraid to talk this way. And I think until we talk this way, and it wasn't just Mitt Romney. I mean, maybe you like Newt Gingrich, Rick Santorum. Romney beat him. Romney beat him. And Romney was our nominee. And I didn't endorse anybody, but I said early that I think Romney has the best chance of winning, and I encouraged all my Republicans and Tea Party conservatives to get behind him, because I was scared to death as to what 4 more years of Obama would do. And to Jackie's point, that, I guess, didn't resonate with enough Republicans. Yes, ma'am, in the striped sweater.
Well, I just found when I talk to people, and I happen to be a retired CPS teacher, Sharon is in the news right now a lot, and but I found that people were very uninformed. They didn't know what the issue was.
Okay.
You tried to discuss it with them, and they had absolutely no idea. And honestly, in all honesty, Romney was far better than Obama if you had any ounce of intelligence there. I listened to a couple of speeches. He just doesn't have it. And I'm just finishing the book, The Amateur, and he certainly qualifies. And the people he's appointing right now, look what he's doing now. This is scary. This is but I couldn't convince people. They just wouldn't become informed.
Hey, guys, here's the beautiful thing. This country wasn't founded 7,000 years ago. We can still almost feel it. 200-some years ago, this great, good, decent experiment began. Not that long ago. Now, it's a shame that so many Americans don't remember this. Jefferson, my favorite founding father, Jefferson said 2 things that will always stick with me. He said, first of all, to preserve what we created, to preserve and keep this great republic, we may have to shed blood every couple hundred years. Oh my God! A founding father said that. We may have to shed blood every couple hundred years to preserve our basic freedoms. That sounds terribly radical right now, doesn't it? Are you prepared to go to jail to defend this thing? The other thing Jefferson said, which is very prescient, is when a country, and I'll paraphrase, when a country gets stupid, they lose their republic. When a country is dumbed down, when a country loses its education, they lose that.
Right.
And I'll tell you, again, every elected official, oh, please get me reelected, please get me reelected. They never want to be honest with the American people. So they never say the following. You know what? We have too many people in this country who are uninformed, they're lazy, they don't pay attention, they border on stupid, and they vote every 2 or 4 years. I'm just going to say it.
But isn't that a bad
But, Republicans, we who believe in freedom, still have to figure out a way to talk to them.
Oh, I agree, but isn't it a fact, though, that the independents voted heavily for Romney?
Romney won the
Yeah,
independence.
see, though, in my opinion, there's kind of a thinking group, and if we can approach
Nah, don't think that.
No.
Don't think independents are all of a sudden a thinking
not
group.
all, but then,
Well, yeah. Studies show there is no more great informative voter in that great independent realm than there is among Republicans or Democrats. A lot of independents are independents because they don't pay attention and they wake up 4 days before an election and say, I got to vote for somebody. Yes, sir.
Okay, so our next big election will be the governor's election, 2014, which will be later on this year. Candidates are going to start declaring for governor. I know Bill Daley, who I think he announced that he's going to run or that he's planning to announce. The one thing that we got to talk about is just the economic damage that Quinn and the Democrats have done to the state. Because the Democrats, they control the state government, the county government, the city government. So they really don't have anybody to blame for the high unemployment, the high, but low rate of business growth. But the thing though with Quinn, since he's been governor, he's had about 10 to 12 tax hikes since he's come in. He's got Republican support on every single tax hike except for the state income tax hike. And so if the Republicans can run for governor to have credibility, he's not saying which Quinn tax hikes he wants to repeal. And if he just says it's just going to be only the income tax hike that he's going to repeal, it's just not. It has to be a little bit more expansive for that.
Look, guys, this is so simple. According to the Illinois Policy Institute, think about this. Every 9 minutes, somebody leaves this state. And by the way, I'm going to predict that since the election, that's gone up. Before the election, every 9 minutes, somebody left Illinois. Who's leaving? The business owner, the maker, the taxpayer, the producer, the doer. They're leaving. Why are they leaving? Because this is a lousy state to do business, to keep what I make. And oh yeah, there's all that debt. And I know they're going to come after me. People are running out of this state. That's the reason that's so is because we have one party that runs in Illinois, the Democrats. The reason that's so is because we have one man who runs Illinois, Michael Madigan. The reason that's been able to happen is because we have no Republican Party in this state. None! 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 Republicans have survived the last 40 years saying, oh, Democrats, just please give me some crumbs. Help me to kind of be like you. Give me something. Just give me the downstate vote. Give me DuPage County. Just give me something. There's no Republican Party in this state. What this state needs, what the Republican Party needs, is our own Scott Walker. We need somebody to say, I don't want people running from Illinois. I want people running to Illinois. I want a candidate for governor to say the following. Because they're asked all the time. Congressman Walsh, do you think that state income tax increase should be permanent? And I look confused and befuddled, and I say, maybe I don't understand your question. I don't think we should have a state income tax.
Right.
Nothing's going to change unless we lovingly clean, cleanse, and purge the Republican Party. And if we can't, to my skeptic back there who I love, something else is coming. Guys, we're not playing. I'm not playing. I'm down in Chicago right now. I'm an hour and 20 minutes from home. I have told my leaders in Washington, if the Republican Party doesn't get what I'm saying, we're going to be run over in a couple of years. Something's coming! Something is coming! We will not lay down and lose this. And so help me God, if the Republican Party won't stand up for this, something else is coming. Now, if you think the country's in trouble, Illinois is worse. You want to know where America's heading? You're living in it. We need a Republican Party in this state. I don't want a candidate for governor who's just, just another good old boy who looks and sounds just a little less Democrat. Just a little less. You know what? I'll extend that tax rate increase for 4 months less than you will. No! No! Be willing to lose. Be willing to lose. I walked around naked. Imagine that, Jackie. I walked around naked for a year during that campaign. Everybody learned everything they could learn about Joe Walsh. Everybody saw every scar and wart and pimple. I opened up my life for the world to see, and Axelrod and Emmanuel threw everything at me. I had to have I didn't have to, my 25-year-old son came to me in September and said, I can't stand what they're saying about you, Dad. Can I please do a TV commercial?
That's awesome.
How ugly. What an ugly business. But you know what? I'm not saying everybody has to run for office. You got to be a little cuckoo to run for office. But I'm saying everybody has to be willing to open it all up. Because we're losing. What else, guys? Before I get to my hour-and-a-half conclusion. Is it going to be brief?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have concerns that our candidate for governor will be picked for us, as it was last time. What can we do to stop that?
I'll answer that question in my conclusion. That's my conclusion. Thank you. Yes, sir.
What's next for you?
That's his
When I'm
conclusion.
done here, I'm gonna belly up to that bar and order a pop.
Yeah.
No, but who asked me if I'm buying? Okay. No, hold on, Helene. I'm not buying tonight. but hold that thought, because in my conclusion, I'm going to answer that question. Here's what's next for me. All I know is we're 3 years into this revolution. I want to keep fighting. I just want to be a part of it. You know, all the politicians think they have to be the leaders. I want to be a part of it. I want to keep talking, yelling, and getting with people to try to get people to get this. If that means I run again, maybe. I'm not trying to be cute. I don't know. What I'm going to do the next 3 or 4 months is talk to groups all over the state and get the silent majority to take the next step. If that means Joe Walsh runs for dog catcher or senator, who knows? Who knows? I can't stand politicians who just plot and calculate their next move. It's in God's hands. How's that? How's that for avoiding the question? Yes, sir.
Well, Joe, in your conclusion, two things. First of all, the
This
800...
is turning into a very long conclusion.
I'm hoping you elaborate more on the governor's race and how we can get a conservative, a Tea Party person running rather than the cronies that are in there now. I won't mention any names. Also, the 870 school districts, which the Democrats are working very hard on today to get Democrats elected in April 2013. There's no Republican buzz, no Tea Party buzz. I'm very concerned about that. So thoughts quickly, under 1 minute, on school board and the governor's race.
Again, guys, real quickly. The other side knows they're at war. Mike Madigan and his folks, they don't just work the final 3 months before an election. They're working right now for 2014. They are out canvassing every day for 2 years. They are getting people elected to school boards and local offices. They are lining up their army. they don't take a week or a month off. So we have to do the same. To get a conservative elected governor, we have to have the majority of Republicans and independents support a conservative voice.
You have to go after Cook County. The whole state of Illinois is red. Cook is only blue. And they run this state.
Yes, sir.
You had said that the reason the Democrats are so powerful in Illinois is because there's no Republican Party in Illinois. I'd like to ask you what your assessment is of Mr. Brady and what should happen.
Bill Brady? Oh, Pat Brady.
Pat Brady, yes,
Okay, short answer on Chairman Pat Brady. I say the same thing about John Boehner. Pat Brady's a good guy, nice guy, I like him. But he's chairman of the Republican Party. The Republican platform supports traditional marriage. You cannot, as the chairman of the party, come out and support gay marriage. You cannot do that. Hey! Chairman Brady was very free to resign his position and say, as a private citizen, this is what I believe in. But as the chairman of the party, you can't say that. It was wrong. I implore him to take it back. Thank you. All the way in the back.
Joe, I feel like we're neighbors. I grew up in Island Lake there.
I love Island Lake.
Block into Lake County there.
Great area.
The first time I heard you speak was at the Operating Engineers Hall up in Bolo or Lakemore or whatever. And it was a meeting for concealed carry in Illinois, and I saw how much you are a champion of that. Now with the recent shootings in Connecticut there, and the administration pushing for gun control and stuff like that. I've heard today Biden is talking about them taking executive orders
yeah.
something. They haven't said what.
Unbelievable.
Do you see any hope for the Republican Party with any resistance to whatever they have in store?
It's dangerous to make predictions, but I'll make one. I don't think there's any way Washington, D.C. passes any gun control legislation. I just don't see it happening.
The Senate
there
won't
are too many in the Senate.
Too many
as well,
Democrats in the Senate.
There are too many Republicans and Democrats who represent districts where the majority of people in their districts say, don't you touch on my Second Amendment. So legislatively, I don't see it going anywhere. I think it's a big kabuki dance and a big game. There may be things the administration tries to do on their own, and then, you know, it's up to Republicans to do what we should have done every single time in the last couple of years, every time Obama took the Constitution and just trampled on it. You stand up and you fight them. You stand up and you fight. And I hope they do that. If Obama and Biden try to do something vis-a-vis executive order on guns, I hope Republicans go after them. But legislatively, I don't see anything happening. Thank God. Nothing should. Well, it should in other areas. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think it takes certain issues for everyone to wake up. Like Obamacare was an eye-opener for a bunch of us in this room, but not for the majority of the American people, I don't think. But this issue on guns, this could be what brings all of those people out, the silent majority.
Let me ask a question again. I know this will probably be on the cover of the Daily Herald tomorrow. So if Illinois bans every weapon under the sun, it's not going to influence what I do. I'm still going to keep a gun in my house to protect my wife and my kids.
Amen.
So I then am going to purposely defy a law. I think you're right. This one is, if Illinois, and how? No! Nothing gets me going like this. Can you give me 2 words? Can you say Rahm Emanuel? This son of a gun denies, hey, this is important.
It is.
Denies that low-income African-American, Hispanic, or white parent in this city of Chicago the ability to defend their family in a neighborhood where they hear gunshots every night. And yet this son of a gun can walk around with armed bodyguards everywhere he goes.
Private schools for his kids.
He denies the freedom for low-income parents to send their kids to whatever school, public, private, religious, or home, they want to send them to, and yet Mayor Rahm, can send his kids to a wonderful private school. You are right. I think that if they push this issue, Illinois hard, you're going to see people jump on it.
Across the country, I think this is going to be the issue. Obamacare, for a lot of people, they thought and believed the lie that they were going to get something with nothing, the premiums were going to go down. But this goes to the very, and that went to our constitutional right, but people didn't get it. People get about taking the Second Amendment away. I think this is the issue.
No matter what Pierce Morgan says.
Exactly.